How you doing? And welcome to my channel. Now, if it's your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for returning and supporting the channel yet again. As you can see today, I'm having a look at the present toys, the Narrator 1/6 scale collectible figure, aka Edward Norton from Fight Club. The box art I like. I think it's really nice. I think the colours are quite vibrant, and we have a nice image of Edward Norton on the front. And then just moving around to the side, you can see we have present toys, and then on the back we have a small quote from the movie, you can see at the top there, and then we have some general warnings, choke warnings and that. So there we have it for the box. Like I said, I really like that box. It looks really nice. So moving on, we'll give him a quick pan down before we get into the details of him, or the accessories should I say. So here we have him standing up pretty much straight up as he comes out of the box. I'll just give him a quick pan and a quick brief look at the head sculpt there. I'm not sure, guys, if you'll agree. Actually, I'll get into it a bit later on. Just giving them a quick pan down there. You can make up your own mind later as to what you think of the sculpt. Just having a look at the base, you can see that it looks red actually, but it is actually pink. But on the screen it looks red. But just giving it a closer look there, you can see it says 18 there, 18 certificate. Actually, I'll just move him off. What am I doing? Just take him off there. And yeah, you can see it's a bit more pinkish looking there. We have the scarred right hand there from the movie, the 18 cert and Fight Club written on the base there. So that's pretty much it for the base. Not the worst base in the world, a little bit bland, but I've seen worse. So without further ado, I suppose let's get into the accessories and all of the bits and pieces that come with this figure. And here we have all of the accessories that come with him. And starting from the top, we have his die-cast baseball bat. I don't think it's quite accurate to the movie. I'd have to look back. It's not too heavy though. It is die-cast, but it's not too heavy. And there's a nice little painted grip there. Not really much to say about it, to be honest. And then moving in, we'll have a look at his M1911, his nickel-plated M1911. This is the one that he uses to shoot himself in the face with, I believe. Okay, that's a little less than ideal. Let me see if I can get that back together there. As I was saying, I think this is the one that he uses at the end of the movie. Like, it is functioning, as you can see there, it does function. And the grip on it is actually super thick. It's not completely in the scale. The grip on it is super thick, and I am struggling with the mag there. It is a bit reluctant to come out, but it does come out if you so choose. But look, not too bad. I'm going to move it out of the way there because I'm getting a reflection off it. So moving on, we have his cigarette that he comes with. Pretty bland, just a piece of plastic painted filter on, and a red blob of paint there, as you can see at the tip of it. Compared to the Blitzway ones that come with Tyler Durden, it's a piece of trash. Moving on, then we'll have a look at his watch, and if I can get focused there, you can see that it's not a molded watch. It does actually have a pleather strap on it there, and you can see it has a nice enough looking face on it there. No complaints on it in that sense, but the issue is when you turn it to the side there, if I can come in a bit closer, you can see the glass bit, or the face of it there, how high it comes off it. Like, it's a big bubble watch. Yeah, it's not the best. It's a little bit unsightly. And then moving on, we have his bottle of Budweiser. We can see that it actually does say Budweiser on it there. It is third party, so they don't need Budweiser's permission. However, the bottle is about 1/5 scale. It's way too big to be a 1/6 scale bottle, and the stickers are starting to peel off as well, but it is just out of scale again. And then we have his printed business card there. Is it the soap company business card? Paper Street, wasn't that what the name of the street was? Paper Street. But there you go. There, yeah, Paper Street Soap Company. Yeah. And then we have his Fight Club soap, and then next to that we have the Tyler Durden cigarettes. And then moving on, we have his hands. Now his hands are all pretty much the same, the clones of each other. We've two of the same left and right trigger hands, and two of the same left and right gripping hands. Not painted too bad. They're a bit darker than I would have expected them to be for Ed Norton. The skin tone is just a little bit dark, tanned kind of looking, you know, but not too bad. They are a bit there is a bit of flex to them there, as you can see, so they are quite pliable, but they are exact copies of each other. And just to mention as well, actually there is another set of hands on the figure itself, just open palm gesturing hands, I suppose you'd call them. So altogether 3 sets of hands, which, you know, it's not too bad. So here we have the figure itself again, straight up again. Just give him a little rotation there, you can see him. And before I get into the details there, so starting from my usual fashion, from bottom to top, we will start with his shoes, and you can see there that they are very, very basic mold of a pair of shoes. There's no weathering, there's no detailing really. The sole is completely flat, not a whole lot of detail. They're just one complete kind of blob of plastic, I suppose. You can only just about notice the relief on the laces part. Pretty basic pair of shoes there, guys, but not the end of the world. The whole figure itself overall is very, very crispy clean and basic, you know. It's quite a basic, just a figure in a suit. Just looking at the trousers, you can see that they have absolutely no weathering on them at all. The material, it's okay, it's not too bad. I've definitely, you know, I've used or gotten figures with cheaper material on them, I can tell you that, but it's not too bad. And the trousers, they fit them quite well. There's no complaints about the fit of the trousers. We do have functioning pockets there as well, which is a nice little touch. And we do have a little pleat running down the front of the trousers as well, which is a nice little attention to detail, which I'm pleasantly surprised to see. And then we have his pleather belt, and then we have his white shirt here, which is done with Velcro. It's done up with Velcro and it's hidden quite well. And then we have his tie, which as far as I know, it's movie accurate. I'd have to look back again, but it can be altered, thank God, because it's not tied up to Mae West, and in some parts of the movie he actually has it quite loose, so thankfully it can be adjusted. Just having a quick look at the collar of the shirt, you can see it's just ever so slightly oversized, which is unfortunate, just a tiny little bit oversized. But the overall size of the body, I mean, the proportions are good, I suppose, for Ed Norton at the time. Just having a look at the inside of the liner of the jacket, it's not the best material. It's not that thin kind of nylon-y material that you'd usually get. So it bulks it out. It makes the jacket a little bit stiffer than it should. It's unnecessarily kind of bulked out and stiff, especially around the shoulder area. Just having a look at the back there, you can see that it is completely clean. There's no weathering. We do have some buttons on the collar there, which is a nice little touch. There's a little mark on it there that I don't think the camera's picking up on. And then you can see there at the back of the head how high the collar of the shirt comes up. It just comes up, or the jacket should I say, it comes up just a little bit too high, and it's just a little bit too squared off. You can see there as I squeeze it in that it could do with just being tailored in just a little bit more to contour with the body. It doesn't quite contour to the body in the top half of the jacket, and if you raise those arms, forget about it, it's coming out. But it all, because it's like that, it all gives him a short neck. It all makes it look like he has a very short neck. They could have done with giving him a couple more millimeters length in his neck, but let's get this guy a little bit more stable, and we will have a good look at the details and the sculpt itself. So just looking at the sculpt, guys, but before I get zoomed in on it there, I just want to have a quick look at the neck again, guys, and you can tell me in the comments whether you think the neck is too low. I can't make my mind up, guys, on whether I think it's a little bit too low. But anyway, let's get closer in on this apparent Edward Norton head sculpts from Fight Club. Personally, I think it's a miss. It's almost a hit. It's almost there, but it's just not quite there. Just looking at the side profile, it's not the best likeness to Ed Norton, especially in that movie. Just looking at the under the chin there, Ed Norton doesn't have that excess kind of, skin hanging down on his chin. I don't think Ed Norton's chin or neck was ever that thick. At any point was his neck ever that thick. The hair isn't too bad. It's kind of in sync with the Blitzway Tyler Durden with the little kind of highlights in it. The eye color is okay for Ed Norton's eye color as well. It's just this, from some angles you kind of see him and other angles you don't. He has that little mole on the right side of his face, just below his lips there. But Edward Norton was a bit more gaunt in that movie. He wasn't as full in the cheeks. You can see he's quite full in the cheeks here, and he was definitely paler than he is here. I mean, I have lights on him, he looks pale, compared to what he actually is in hand. In the movie, he was a bit sickly. He was an insomniac. He wasn't healthy at all, and this figure just doesn't show that. It doesn't represent that or depict that, Ed Norton in that movie and how ill looking he was. I know this is kind of showing him at the start of the movie where it's a clean version of him, and I get that, but it's still, even from the start of the movie, he still was quite pale and thin and gaunt. But the head sculpt is almost there. It is almost there, but it's not there. This is my opinion, guys. Some guys might be like, yeah, that is definitely him. It's him 100%. Personally, I just don't think it's quite there. It's not Presentize's worst work. I've seen worse from Presentize, but I just can't make my mind up on it, guys. I've only opened it yesterday. I haven't had time to kind of soak it in and really look at it and decide. But as it stands, as first impressions stand, guys, I'm not over the moon about how it looks, and I'm a little bit underwhelmed with it. But that might change. There's a slim chance, but it might change as I look at it. And maybe if I put it, or when I put it beside Tyler Durden, it could definitely change my opinion if I look at them on the shelf, beside each other, because it's definitely a complementary piece to a Tyler Durden. If you don't have Tyler Durden, there's really no point in having this. One more accessory I want to point out, and I was holding off on showing, guys, because I didn't want to deter anybody from seeing what I seen when I put the sunglasses on. So I just wanted to kind of leave the glasses till the end. They are made out of metal, so if you want to put them on the figure, you do have to be careful not to scratch the paint, because they are made out of metal. And if I just grab them here and try and put them on very delicately, because I don't want to scratch, got to be very delicate and not scratch up the paint work on it. But I'm not sure what you guys see when you put the glasses on, but I see somebody else entirely. The glasses, they kind of fit okay. If I bent them a little bit, maybe they'd sit a bit straighter on his face, but I see Tom Sizemore in Heat. That's what I see now when I put the glasses on. I just see Tom Sizemore. Brilliant, I've dropped him. That's why I didn't want to show him with the glasses on until the end, because I didn't want anybody just seeing Tom Sizemore and that's all they can see from the start. But yes, the minute I put those glasses on, I just see Tom Sizemore from Heat. Just, if you put a little schoolgirl in his hand there and a backpack or a bag on his, that's Tom Sizemore just before he gets snuffed out in Heat by Al Pacino. But another thing, guys, I want to point out, which I don't normally go over, but I will point it out there, that he does have double jointed elbows. He does have double jointed knees, as you can see, and his hip flex is actually ratcheted. There's a ratchet there on it, which is quite a nice little touch. It's not the worst body in the world. It's a third party figure. It's definitely on par with a Sideshow body. Maybe no, actually, I take that back. It's better than a Sideshow body. So I'm quite happy with it. It's a little bit small though. It is in typical third party fashion. It is a bit small, but you do have to kind of pull down the shirt and the jacket to reveal a bit of neck there, as you can see. And here we have him next to Tyler Durden, and immediately you can see the height difference. The present toys Narrator is well shorter. Even the figure on the right there is third party. Oh, I'll point out actually this one here on the left hand side is Tyler Durden Blitzway red coat version, and the one on the right there is the Fishbone Toys fur coat version of Tyler Durden. You can see the height is almost acceptable between the Fishbone Toys and the present toys, but the Blitzway figure is well bigger than the other two. And given that Brad Pitt and Ed Norton are both 5'9", there's absolutely no way you can convincingly stand him beside the Blitzway figure. And even looking at that there, I can't even stand him beside the Fishbone Toys figure, because he's too, looking at it there, just bringing it in a bit closer, he wouldn't even convincingly sit beside or stand beside the Fishbone figures, Brad Pitt or Tyler Durden. So there's definitely a leg extension or a body swap going to be needed there to stand him beside, especially the Blitzway one. So that's unfortunate, but I am going to have to do something about that. A body swap is the first thing that comes to mind. On another note, guys, I kind of anticipated not being too pleased with the present toys head sculpt, so I went ahead and ended up getting one of these generic head sculpts from eBay. Now, it's from the side profile, it's not the most convincing, but I felt just looking at it from the front that it might end up looking better than the present toys one, just looking more like Edward Norton. So very crudely, I might add, I painted it up. So basically it went from this on the right to what you see on the left. If I can get them to focus there, please focus. My apologies, I'm struggling here. So I got it. Basically, I went from that to that, and I painted it up to kind of a battle damage version or a beat up version of him. Does it look like Ed Norton from some angles, not from the side, but from the front? Now, this is my very first time painting a head sculpt, guys, so it's not my first time picking up a paintbrush, obviously, but my first time painting a head sculpt. I do admit that the skin tone is a little bit darker than I would have liked. Not a bad first attempt. From the side profile, not the best looking wise, but from the face, from the front, it's not too bad. It kind of looks like it. So I'll pop it on there and we'll kind of see what it looks like on that body. And here we have it, guys. Now, straight off the bat, I'm gonna admit that the head sculpt is a little bit too small for the body. It's a little bit small. I didn't anticipate that, but it is. It's not the most, it's not an uncanny likeness for Ed Norton. The neck, there's a bit more neck there, you can see there's a bit more neck, but somewhere between this head sculpt and that head sculpt is Ed Norton, basically. Somewhere between the two of them is an Ed Norton head sculpt. But yeah, it's just, I'm a little bit disappointed in that because it just looks a bit small. It's not great. Yeah, a body swap anyway to make it bigger, and I think I'll stick with the Present Toys head sculpt for now anyway, until I come across a better one. So there you have it, guys. There is the Present Toys, the Narrator, aka Ed Norton from Fight Club. So thanks for watching, and please keep your eye out for future content, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, please. Thank you. Take care.